I want to give you 2 minutes on happiness because I think, quite frankly, we're off track on this subject. And I want to use 2 pointers. The first is from Alan Watts, and he said, there are no wrong emotions. Now, that's a big thing to handle because you've been taught probably most of your life that some emotions you should embrace and others you need to reject. I mean, how many times a day do people tell you, have a good day? And in the worst case scenario, have a great day. Now, that in essence is asking you to reject certain emotions and embrace others. What if you were having the worst day ever and you embraced it? That is exactly what Alan Watts was saying. There are no wrong emotions. The second pointer comes from Viktor Frankl, who wrote Man's Search for Meaning, an absolute must read because he pointed out that actually all this stuff with happiness, meaning is much more important than happiness anyway. But when he talked about happiness, he suggested that it is our quest, and this might be the most important statement on happiness ever. It is our quest for happiness that is preventing us from achieving it. And that idea even goes back further to the Buddha. The Buddha talked about how desire is the source of all suffering, and that included, of course, our desire for happiness. But then it gets a little tricky because then we desire not to desire, and that is a tricky game to play. What if the real you is actually already happy? In other words, this part of the left brain, the ego, the social constructed thought of who you think you are, what if that is this false sense of self that actually desires in the first place? What if the real you is already happy? And I just want to bring up a quick John Hughes movie where the main character was about to enter a marriage and he was dreadful. And John Hughes always thinks that like this average life, being married and having an average home, is just this existential horror story. And he asked his best man, he said, do you think I'll ever be happy? And the best man looks at him, he says, you'll always be happy, you just won't know it. And I think that reflects our situation right now. Your true self is already happy because your true self doesn't desire. And then you might say, okay, well, now you just changed the game. Instead of wanting to be happy, I want to be my true self. But now we have an important hint in all of this. Your true self doesn't desire. So you know if you're desiring to have a mood other than the one that you're having, that's not the real you. And it's a good pointer to the real you that's actually already happy.